Okay, so for this lesson, we are going to discuss communication. So on this module number 4 under principles and techniques in advertising. Yeah. So the topic is the communication process. And these are our learning objectives. Okay. So at the end of the session, at the end of this lesson, you will learn about the following objectives. Now, let's start with communication. So ano nga ba itong communication? So communication is the passing of information, the exchange of ideas, or the process of establishing a commonness or oneness of thoughts between a sender and a receiver. Okay, so biyahin natin yung meaning nitong communication na to. So first and foremost, there are two parties involved. We have the sender and the receiver. Okay, so hindi pwedeng isa lang. Hindi pwedeng sender lang. Kailangan may receiver. At kung may receiver, dapat may sender. Now, another thing about this is that there is a passing of information. So communication is a way for us to pass information, to send information. Okay? Now, there is an exchange. Yon. So it's not just passing of information, but there should be an exchange of ideas. Ibig sabihin, kailangan may reply. Ang hirap naman, nag-send ka ng message tapos walang reply. Diba? So pag walang reply, ibig sabihin, it's not communication at all. Kasi kailangan there should be an exchange of ideas. Okay? Ayan. So, paano nga ba itong communication na to? Paano nga ba yung process nito? Paano yung flow? We have here the model of communication process. Yeah. So, medyo maganda yung ano niya, no, yung itsura niya. Pero dito, malinaw that meron tayong dalawang field. Ayan. So, ito yung sender's field. And this one is the receiver's field. Ibig sabihin, kanya-kanya. Meron silang kanya-kanyang sakop. Now, tingnan natin, no, sino-sino ba yung nandito sa communication process. So we have the source or the sender. We have encoding, channel message, decoding, receiver, response, noise, and feedback. So itong mga to guys, ito yung napaka-importanting components ng communication process. Okay, so simulan natin, no? Paliwanag natin. The source or the sender is the one who sends the message. Okay, so as you can see, let's just follow the arrow. So from the source or the sender, yan, the message will be or will pass through encoding. So ano ba yung encoding? Yan. Encoding, this is the way or the method or the process about how are we going to send the message in a manner na ito ay madaling maiintindihan ng receiver. We have to select a channel. Okay? Okay. Now, from the given channel, no, channel message, when it is clear, no, it can be decoding or it could be decoded by the receiver. So decoding or decoder, this one naman is the method on how a receiver will receive and interpret the message sent by the sender or the sources. Okay, so to make it complete, no, isa-isahin natin. Ano nga ba talaga itong mga elements na ito o itong mga components na ito ng communication? So let's start with the sender or the source. So it is the person or organization that has information to share with another person or a group of people. The source may either be an individual, like a salesperson, a celebrity, a spokesperson, no, mga ganyan, who appears in the company's advertisement, or a non-personal entity, such as a corporation or the organization itself. So meaning to say, this source is really the sender. So not necessarily a person. Okay? Pwedeng the message came from the corporation or from an organization. Now, the encoding involves putting thoughts, ideas, or informations into a symbolic form. So just like what I've said kanina, Through encoding, the sender must think of a way on how they can send the message clearer, ng mas malinaw. Or para ito ay ma-decode, no, ng mas malinaw. Like for example, yeah, there are messages na hindi kailangan sabihin pero pwedeng malaman agad nung receiver. Okay, for example, saying I love you. Not necessarily kailangan mo sabihin I love you. Pwedeng magano ka lang ng heart-heart or puso-puso. So most likely, di ba? Most likely, creatively, naiparating mo yung message. O kaya naman, halimbawa, gusto mong sabihin dun sa receiver na galit ako sa'yo. Yeah? So not necessarily, kailangan sabihin mo na galit ako sa'yo. O ano lang gagawin mo? Pandilatan mo. Di ba? So kahit di ka magsalita, basta pinandilatan mo siya, di ba? Nanlilisik ang mata mo, marireceive niya yung message. Yun. So ganun ang encoding. Okay? Yan. So yun na, again not necessarily kailangan spoken. Pwedeng symbol-symbol, pwedeng action-actions, mga ganon. As long as you find a way on how you can effectively send yung message clearly. Yan. Now, the message itself or yung content, siyempre, importante yun, no? The informations or the meaning the source hopes to convey. The message may be verbal or non-verbal, oral or written, or even symbolic. Messages must be put into transmittable form that is appreciate, no, that's rather appropriate for the channel of communications being used. Just like what I've said, no, you're going to choose the right channel for communication. So a message could be oral or written, verbal or non-verbal, or even symbolic. So katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, di ba? Hindi sa oral, hindi rin sa written, non-verbal siya. Di ba? Hindi ko naman sinabing galit ako eh. Pero pinanlisikan ko siya ng mata ko. Nanlisik yung mata ko, nakatingin ako sa kanya. So nalaman niya kung ano yung message ko. Kanina, non-verbal din, symbolic din na by nature, nag-heart-heart lang ako. Hindi ko sinabing I love you. Nag-heart-heart lang ako. Pero nalaman niya. Yun. So in advertising, this may range from simply writing some words or copy that will be read as a radio message to producing an expensive television commercial. So yung copy is also a content yan. Kapag sa advertisement kasi, ang term instead na content or instead na message, ang ginagamit na term ay copy. Yan. Marketeer must make decisions regarding the content of the message as they send it to the consumer, as well as the structure and designs of these messages. So the content refers to the information or the meaning contained in the message, while the structure and design refers to the way. So sabi ko nga, may mga messages na very meaningful, very powerful, pero yung manner of delivery o yung structure and design may be poor, so it became less effective. Okay na eh, plakado na yung message eh. Di ba? Kaya lang, sablay yung delivery, sablay yung structure and design. Yung way of delivering the message, sablay. So, mahina. Parang ano yun eh, may napanood ako before, sabi niya, magpo-propose siya eh. So, normally, pag nag-propose ka, siyempre, pinaghandaan mo. Sa movie na yun, ganun din, pinaghandaan niya. Inaya niya for a dinner date, yung girl, sa isang kilalang restaurant na kilala bilang restaurant kung saan ang mga lalaki ay nagpo-propose. So, paano siya nag-propose? Ang sabi lang niya, nilabas niya yung ring, tapos ang sabi niya sa girl, you win. Yun ang sabi niya, you win. So, anong ibig sabihin? Parang, sige na, panalo ka na, pakakasalan na kita. So, ano nangyari? Pinakasalan ba siya? Tinanggap ba yung proposal niya? Hindi. Bakit? Nagalit sa kanya. Imagine, everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. Sablay yung content, structure, and design. Diba? See? So, kaya yun. Ganun sa message. Now, channel. Channel could be personal or non-personal. A channel is a method by which the communication travels from the source or the sender to the receiver. So, as I mentioned, it could be personal or non-personal. Non-personal channel communications are those that carries a message without direct or interpersonal contact. So, hindi nagpapang-abot, no? Hindi ganon, hindi nagkikita. Hindi ko directly nasasabi sa iyo, katulad ng mga salesperson. A salesperson, sir, ano yun? Personal yun, tama. Kasi kaharap mo siya. So, yung mga hindi kaharap, sila si non-personal. Katulad nga ng paggamit ng mass media or mass communication in which we are using third person. Ayan. So, may ibang nagsasalita for us. So, hindi natin siya necessarily makakausap. Okay, nakausap talaga ng direct. Okay. Now, non-personal channel of communication consists of two types, the print and broadcast. So yung print or print media, alam na natin to. Magazine, newspapers, direct mails, billboards, etc. While yung broadcast naman, andyan yung radio and television. Because of technology, pati internet nandyan. Ang nakakatuwa kay internet, guys, internet can either be personal or interpersonal. Okay? Pwede siyang, sorry, personal o kaya naman ay non-personal. Pwede siya kahit alin doon. Okay? Ayan. Now, si personal involves direct communication or face-to-face. Social media, pwedeng face-to-face yun. Email, personal yan kasi we can send personalized email. So, pwede pasok pa rin. Yung mga salesperson o paggamit ng salesperson, yan din ay personal. Okay. Now, um, as far as personal is concerned, meron namang medyo hindi sadya, katulad nga nung tinatawag na word of mouth. Ayan. So this one is influence that involves informal communication among consumers. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman hindi naman sinabi sa kanya. Maaring nadinig lang, etc. etc. O kaya yun. Kaya pasok pa rin sa non-personal si words of mouth. Ayan. So, ganyan ang words of mouth. Ngayon, ang words of mouth ay parang isang sort of viral marketing kasi yan. So, together with mass marketing, yan. So, si words of mouth ay libre. Yan, libre. Si buzz marketing ay yung parang improved version ng words of mouth. So, buzz marketing is a term used to describe word of mouth, yan, word of mouth communication about a company, its products, services, and or brands. Okay? As well as its advertising messages and often encouraged by a marketeer. So, bakit siya tinawag na buzz marketing? Yan. Kasi nga, para tong improved version ng words of mouth. Sa words of mouth, di ba, yung mga marites nagbubulungan niya. Kaya words of mouth ang tawag natin doon. Dito sa buzz marketing, yan, tatanggalin na natin yung mga yon. Pero, magagawa pa rin natin na pag-usapan yung item natin. So, pwede tayo mag-sponsor ng mga commercials, lalo na via internet, no, medyo mas mura. So, yung mga ganun. And, another is yung seeding. Yan. Sabi nga, another important aspect of viral is yung seeding, which involves identifying and choosing the initial group of customers or consumers who will be used to start the diffusion or spreading of a message. Sad to say, um, malimit sa mga malimit sa viral marketing ay talagang created siya talaga. Ano ba sabihin to? May mga pagkakataon na gumawa tayo ng isang istorya tapos ginawa natin siyang sensational. Ayan. So, by doing so, ayan, nagkaroon siya ng effect. Ayan. So, ganyan sa viral. Kaya maganda sa viral kasi is that pwede itong scripted. Pwede kasing ikaw mismo gumawa ng Itong viral marketing nga na to. Okay? Tuloy. Ano ba ba? Yan. Nandun na tayo kay receiver decoding process. Si receiver, the person who receives the information sent by the sender or the, ano ba yung tawag sa kanya? Sender or source, tama. So, the receiver is the person whom the sender shares its thoughts and information. Now, what they use to interpret it is decoding. Oh. So, it's a decoding is a process of transforming the sender's message back into thoughts. Yan. So, ganun lang siya. Okay, what else? Okay, ito. Ayan. So, still on receiving, oh, sorry, yeah. The effective communication occurs the same decoding process of the receiver must match the encoding of the sender. What else? Yeah. Ayan na. So, kung meron tayong mga ganong process, okay, huwag kang magtaka na merong mga harang. Yun. So, itong harang na sinasabi natin, ito yung mga disturbance, yan. Kaya naman, yung mga nakita natin na gap, yan. So, pwede natin consider yan na pollution. Yan. Now, ang sabi, noise is throughout the communication process, the message is subject to extraneous factor that can distort or interfere with the reception. So, katulad yan, di ba? Katulad yan, there's an unplanned distortion sa trip natin. So, probably, pwede pa siyang maayos. Mga ganun. Ayan. Response or feedback. So, katulad ng sinabi ko, ang response ay nakabase sa kung ano ang magiging dating sa atin. So, yung pinaka-feedback nga talaga, maganda ba yung mensahe? Naintindihan ba natin? So, we can give our feedback about it. Okay? Now, receiver's response can range from non-observable action, tulad daw ng tulad ng pag-i-store ng information. So, ibig sabihin, may pagtatago ng information, no? Pagka ganyan, syempre, hindi nga naman makakalabas yung information, mananatili lang sa kanila. Ang tanong, may interpret mo ba siya ng tama? Baka mamaya sinolo mo, mali naman pala ang decoding mo. Kala mo, tama yung idea mo, mali pala. Now, speaking of, syempre, we have to analyze the receiver. To communicate effectively with their customers, us marketeers must understand who the target audience is. Kasi hindi tayo katulad sa palengke na tatanungin mo isa-isa lahat ng dadaan. Te, bili ka ba? Kuya, bili ka ba? Te, bili ka ba? Diba? So, hindi yun ganun kasimple, hindi ganun kadali. Kaya that's why we have to analyze the receiver. Para ano? Para sakto. Sakto. Yung aalukin mo, may high chance na siya ay mag-reply positively. Yun. So that's why. Now, ayan. So ito yung target audience natin. So ito rin yung tinatawag na level of audience aggression. So paano ba sila na-aggregates? Ayan. So on the first level, ayan, so we have individual and group audience. So dito sa individual and group audience, syempre titignan talaga natin dito, ano yung common doon sa mga yon? Kasi kailangan may common eh. Hindi po pwedeng walang something common between individual and groups. So talagang kailangan meron. Next is the niche market. Ang niche ay mas maliit than the usual. So for example, Kunwari, ano siya, medyo, ang height niya is 5, halimbawa. So, pwede pa, ano yun, pwede pa yun, mas maliit sa 5. Yeah. Pero probably, baka isa lang, hindi katulad ng marami. Okay? Now, ibig sabihin lang nito guys, for us to have an idea, yung groupings ng ating mga kalaban, no, mga ganon. So kung halimbawa, they have 12, no, each 12 magkano ang rent, yan. So halimbawa sabi niya, ano lang sir, 300. Okay, so 300 each. Ganun talaga. Okay? Ayan. Okay? Yan. The target market consists of individuals who have specific needs. So katulad nga yan, no? Yung mga bagay na minsan nakatulong, pero siyempre minsan hindi natin masasabi, no? Kapag masyado marami tayong target, baka hindi natin sila maserve ng mas maayos. Next is, yan. So, niche. Yan. So, mas maliit ito, ha? Mas maliit. Pero okay naman. Okay? Tapos, siyempre, andyan yung market segment. Ibig sabihin, they can have at least more than 2. No? Yan. Siguro, mga lang. Mga 1 or 3 or 5. O basta, ano. Yan. Next is, okay, the response process. So, sabi, perhaps the most important aspects of developing yan, developing an effective, so yan, involves understanding the response process the receiver may go through in moving towards a specific behavior, like purchasing a product, and how the promotional efforts of the marketers influence consumer responses. Now, ito yung ilan sa mga, balikan ko lang, yan, ilan sa mga response process. So, isa sa pinaka-oldest dito ay itong si AIDA model. Yun. So, ang AIDA model, first, ano yan? Nadalagang bukid pala. So, halimbawa, si AIDA model, guys, binubuo siya ng awareness, interest, desire, action. So, ano ibig sabihin? Ito, guys, ay dinadaanan natin kapag tayo ay na-expose sa isang information o kaya naman meron tayong bagay na gustong bilhin. So, dinadaanan natin to si AIDA. Kaya yung mga company, guys, ginagamit nila until now si AIDA model. Kasi sabi katwiro nila, kapag na-educate natin si audience, so most likely, siya ay gagante favorably. So, next dito ay, ayan, traditional response hierarchy model. Parang pareho to ni AIDA. Oo. Kaya lang dito, we starts with innovations adoption model. So, alin to? Dito, guys, merong gain mga factor katulad sa sinabi kanina, no? May difference yan. So, hindi naman yan necessarily sosolo siya ng punta. Okay. Now, traditional response hierarchy model o yung hierarchy of effect model. So, this one shows the stages a consumers get through in transition from being unaware to unaware of the brand to learning about it. Now, para daw madali, no, pwede natin tingnan tatlong to in this way. So, halimbawa, no, cognitive stage. Ano ba yung cognitive stage? Ito yung stage na that includes the consumers knows about the brand. So, ito yung mga tipong nag-explore siya, mag-isa, trying to find ways, etc. Next, we have, so ayan na yung mga effect ha, ayan yung mga comparison ng mga company. So, pangalawang sabak kaagad guys, yung sa pinaka-effective. So, dalawa yan para sa AIDA. Interest at saka desire. Okay, so hopefully it's clear. Tapos, affective, no, under affective, yan. So, dito, magkasama naman si, ah, ano nga ba pangalan nun? I forgot. So, pagka naalala ko na. So, halimbawa, si Company A, Company B, Company C, yan. So, tinignan natin ngayon, ano ang status niya uh, according to the type, no? So, halimbawa, yan, AIDA model. Sa cognitive stage, since ang cognitive stage is about knowledge, yan. So, yan yung una. Pangalawa, yan. Pangalawa is affective. So, sa affective, syempre, pera may usapan. So, there is no other way kundi ipa-safe keep muna siya. Yan. So, the last one is the behavioral stage. So, as you can see, maayos na maayos, no? Bakit? Kasi, pagka tayo nag-determine ang market, kailangan gusto natin plakado. Oo. Wala nang ang tawag dito, wala nang hirap na ma-identify natin kung sino yung market natin. Basta i-follow lang natin yung mga yan. Ano pa ba? Ayan. The standard learning hierarchy. So sabi, Ray, terms in the standard learning model, which includes a learn, feel, do sequence, information and knowledge acquired by learned about the various brands are the basis for developing affect. Yan. Yan. So, pangatlo is yung social consumer decision dimensions or journey rather. So this one is a decision journey that has four basic stages. So we have number one, stage one is consider. Number two is the third one is, so the end of the fourth one. Okay. So lahat sila guys, ang intention ay isa. So ganun siya dapat. So, papansinin nyo dito sa social consumer decision journey, ang nasa gitna ay si bond. Okay? Si bond ang nasa gitna. Yan. So bakit? Ano bang gagawin natin dito? So halimbawa, dito tayo kay consider. Yan. So bumili siya. Ang binilan niya ay si JC. Yan. Tapos, ano pa ba? Halimbawa, meron kang brand na itatry, something like that. So think again, no? Think again. So, ganun yung sabi natin, it's not that easy. Okay? So, as a consumers, meron yung mga dinadaanan. As a consumers, may mga vitamins din yan, etc. etc. So, cognitive process. Yan. So, paano nga ba to? So, sa cognitive, guys, nagpo-provide tayo ng information. So, more or less, we provide more and more and more and more individual informations para lang sa ganun, mas maintindihan nila how effective uh, yung ating promotion, no? Yung ating pinaka-communication. So makikita natin yan, ayan, kung nag-work siya. Okay? So ito, yung cognitive model of cognitive response. So pwede nyo tingnan, scan nyo. So una, so there is an exposure to advertisement. So 1, 2, 3, may tatlong advertisement, may tatlong group. Sa isa natin. As to cognitive, alin sa tatlo ang nagbibigay ng sapat na ginhawa at sapat na information? So, parang ganun siya. So, mula dito sa may left side, pupunta sa right side. Okay. Product message thoughts. Yan. So, syempre, pag nag-iisip pa, inisip pa rin doon, yung, ang tawag doon, um, parang sort of, parang pitchy something, mga ganun. So, halimbawa, ganun. So, sa cognitive response, una muna is a product thought. A product thought or a product or a message thought. So, ano yun? Halimbawa, balikan natin yung pitchy-pitchy. Yan. So, paano gagawin natin para maiparating natin that pitchy-pitchy, ito ay something different kasi this is special, blah, 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 blah. Kung sa pansit, masasabi natin halimbawa, ay, luglog pala yun, sa mga ganon, di ba? Special siya kapag siya ay maraming pansit or maraming toppings, mga tipo bang ganon. Pero siyempre, importante na malaman natin kung saan ba galing yung toppings, saan ba galing yung fan na maliliit, etc. etc. Siyempre, kinukusyo mo din. Bakit? Kasi paano nga kung ano, problema, yun. Next is number 12. Okay, so ganito guys ang cognitive response. So yan ang dinadaanan niya. It starts with cognitive and then napupunta siya sa decision and then napupunta siya eventually sa ano tawag doon? Parang sort of tatak ng emblem ng pamilya. Yun. Aha, ano pa ba? Ito. So, we have, so kung mapansin mo, ito sa product and messages, ito naman, source-oriented thoughts. So, for source-oriented thoughts, one of the most important types of response in this category is the source derogation. Saan mo ba binili yan? Ano bang ginagawa niya? Ganon. So, lahat yun, sama. Kasi bakit? Source-oriented eh. Titignan natin mismo ikaw. Okay, ano pa ba? Add execution. Kasi add execution naman consists of individuals' thought about the ad itself. An execution or ad executions related thoughts can be either favorable or unfavorable. So, pwede naman talaga magbigay ng negative. Okay? Pwede rin positive. Depende kung how you want it na ibigay sa market. Mm-hmm. Okay. So after the product or message thought under cognitive responses and then source oriented, now we have the ad execution thoughts. Okay. So paano naman to? Sabi, the third category of cognitive responses shows in figure, ito yun, 5.7 or 5.7, consists of individuals' thought about the ad itself. The ad executions related thoughts can be either favorable or unfavorable. Now, an ads naman talaga, it could either be you like it or you don't like it. Okay? So they are important because of their effect on the attitude towards the advertisement. Siyempre, if it is favorable, positive, di ba, ang effect, so likely, ano ang magiging response? Yon. Diba? So receivers who react favorably to the source generates favorable thoughts or source bolster. O, diba? So tingnan mo babalikan natin yung isa So kung dito, receivers who reacts favorably to the source generates favorable thoughts. Dito sa product or message thoughts, diba? Sabi niya, supports arguments or thoughts that affirms the claims made by the message. Imagine if the claim is positive about the product or the message. Positive ang thoughts about the product and the message. Positive din yung thoughts about the source. And then, positive din yung thoughts about the about the execution. So what do you think will happen? on. So, ibig sabihin, it will also be favorable to you. The response will be favorable to you. Kasi yung cognitive responses is okay. Ibig sabihin, successfully, nagawa mo ng maayos yon. Naintindihan, no? Nakuha yung mensahe. That's why, sa tatlong yon, positive ang naging response sa'yo. Okay? Ngayon, this one is the framework for studying how advertising works. So it starts with the inputs, natural. Message content, media scheduling, repetition. Sabi ko nga, sa advertisement, talagang ito ay kailangan na paulit, ulit, ulit, ulit. Now, after the inputs from the advertising, there will be some filter. Yan, siyempre, motivations or ability, or sometimes even involvement. Third to filter is the consumer. So we have to fill in their needs for cognition or cognitive, affect or affective experiences. So we have to do something about it. Sir, wala po kasi akong idea about this. Yun, you provide the idea. Yun yung sinasabi niya. Or, tulungan mo ako, abutin natin siya. Something na gano'n. Next, of course, after consumer is the consumer's behavior. Siyempre, ang point kasi ng advertising is really to influence behavior. Oo. It is intended to create ng matagal na masyado, ganyan. No. We have to make it simpler. Yan. So, through consumer, again, shift na agad to consumers' behavior, which can be seen through their choices, consumptions, loyalty, habits, etc. Yan, naku po. Salamat Shopee na pala. So, ibig sabihin guys, that's the end of our discussion for tonight. So, salamat Shopee, salamat everyone. So, this will be the coverage of your midterm examination. Okay? Ayan. So, that's it. Thank you very much and